Hey guys, this is VV Shaft, and this is part 3 of LG vs Starcraft Strategy.com in the SC2 Tour. With me is the new recruit, or
I'm
what do
not
I
your
call you?
recruit, you
Not a new recruit,
bastard.
but okay, he was on VG, now he's on mMeAlkresh. I don't know a noun for that, but
uh,
we're having a good time casting, showing you guys our passion for esports. There it is. We're at a minute mark. We're at the final two games. This is part 3. These are guaranteed to be two of the best games we've casted so far, as these games feature Mbat Asfuts and his opponent Xenocider. So without further ado, I will be getting this unpaused in 3, 2, 1, go. On the bottom right hand side of Shakura's Plateau, we have the orange Terran, SCS's Xenocider. On the bottom left, close by air positions, we've got the red Zerg and that Asphalt, whose name makes me feel so very dirty.
well, one thing I just hope we don't see is for Xenocider to go for the bunker wall in, because that's just annoying and imbalanced and stupid. Terrans who do that can go burn in a fire. Doesn't matter which fire, just any fire will do.
Well, there's a supply depot. Can you still do that?
Nah, I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the 2 bunker wall in at the small ramp. The big ramp you can get a 3 bunker wall in.
Ah, I've not seen that.
You've not? Oh god, it's the most annoying thing ever, because you can't really kill it.
I don't think my opponents are good enough to know how to pull it off.
Oh, just be glad.
Yes, sir.
Because there are teams who are dedicated to that kind of play. Anyways, so Xenocider going for a gas 6 expand once again. Imbusfuts going for a gas 6 expand once again. These guys hate gas.
Yes, sir. Bina for the win. Not really a lot to talk about. These are the same openers we've seen time and time again from these players, and actually in this tournament. These players have been practicing their macro styles lately, and that makes for the most exciting matches in the later game, but kinda makes me want to bring a pillow to the early game.
Nah, it's fine. Well, one thing I want to bring your attention to is it's close by air, so you got this little chasm type walkway path thingamajig in between them with the destructible rocks leading to it.
Yeah.
And this is great for Terran because they can do this really funky siege tank medevac marine push where they use that low ground and just siege up your main base.
Tanks go here.
Yeah, it is very annoying, and if you want to get some easy points, free win maybe, you lower leaguers, go ahead and try it out and piss off some Zerg players, because I guarantee you, they will be mad.
Yeah. That happens to me quite a bit. In fact, how do you recommend defending that? Nurchio, I've seen with his Roachling Infestor style, he doesn't have problems with that sort of thing at all, but for those of us who play a more traditional style...
Shakura's Plateau is one of the maps where I recommend everyone to still go Mutalisks, because this map has so many high ground, low ground positions that getting by without Mutalisks is just incredibly difficult, because Terrans will abuse this map to its fullest potential, and without Mutalisks it's just inefficient to deal with it, because throwing infested Terrans everywhere is going to waste a lot of energy.
Okay. Alrighty then. How long do you recommend they stay on Mutalisk production?
However long they feel comfortable with. Like, sometimes it's good to just stay on it the whole game. I mean, sometimes I do. Just saying.
Okay.
So,
Lots of Marines?
Imbusfut's going for the very fast 3 base. It makes me feel like I'm watching a ZVP. It's kind of a standard response to this very fast command center. And instead of going for Hellions and Marines this game.
Alright, well, we have this bunker rush on the 3rd. 10 are in production, but this is a little bit scary.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this hatchery is going to go down because this many lings won't be able to deal with it in time, and they won't even get there in time. So Imbusfoot's just going to make another base in a very vulnerable position. Zergs never like to put their hatchery down here, but in this situation, they're just kind of forced to do it.
Yeah, and again, with the no speed on the Zerglings, this time Hellions are on the map, and
This is going to be a huge problem for Imbusfoot. Like, these lings are basically forfeit.
yeah, and those are drones that could have been made.
Yep. And he even gets a scout off on this exposed third base.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Xenosider is probably just going to be feeling very comfortable with this. He's just like, take that third. I will kill that third soon enough.
Yes, sir.
He's happy with this.
He's going to do what he can at the very least. Imba even recognizing that this doesn't look good for him. However, he's got a 12-drone lead.
Xenosider, fan of bunkers, apparently.
Definitely. Well, hell, you can sell them for 100%. There's no reason not
70,
to do it.
no, 75%, man.
Oh, I forgot they
That's
fixed
it.
that.
See, if you lose 25 minerals, it's fair and balanced. Fox News.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So, 8 minutes, 30 seconds in, bunker rush is going down. Standard play.
Yes, sir, especially at this third, or fourth/third, I don't know what to call it at this point.
Oh, kill that hatchery, please.
He does.
Hero Hellion. What a hero.
And roaches now being produced. I guess Imba beginning to realize that lings just aren't going to cut it, especially lings without speed.
Yeah, I don't know why he's delaying his speed so much. Like,
He's done
made
it every game.
Well, like, this is even more delayed than normal. Like, he just started, so he's not going to have it until past the 11-minute mark, which means he's going to be very vulnerable to this push. And this game's just going Xenosider's way in every regard. He's even getting an upgrade advantage.
I don't see how Imba is going to live through this.
Well, roaches are pretty good, despite common misconception. Queens have become pretty good. And, well, I don't know. It actually is a good question. Pulling drones, I guess that's how.
Well, the harvester count now even, actually, so...
Kills me to see this. This poor drones. Well, Spinecar just going to town.
I actually think I'm ahead of you. 10:45.
Oh. I got like 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay. In any case, we've got the medevac picking up damaged marauders. And some Marines also going to jump into the medevac, scared of the roach lean force in front of it.
Well, this is just a horrible, horrible situation to be in as a Zerg player. You're down 14 harvesters. Your opponent's getting his third command center up. You don't even have any drones on your third. You've lost queens. You have no upgrades, no tech. This is about as bad as it gets. I want to see if the next push. I think will kill Imbusfoot unless he pulls off a miracle.
This is very true. What do you think the next push is going to be?
Well, looking at the setup of Imbusfoot's base, it's going to be siege tanks, marines, medevacs, very standard. It's going to go for a sort of bomber style, going to get that +2, +1 upgrade. Gonna get a pretty big army, take his third, and just push out with a very strong, nearly maxed army. Or he's gonna push out now.
He might just be taking the towers, though.
Putting on pressure, forcing units out of his opponent, which he's succeeding.
Yep, 4 drones, 2 lings being produced, killing off several queens and a lot of creep tumors.
And Imbusfoot is still just so far behind in that drone count.
So OP. These medevacs just picking up the units before they're even vulnerable.
It's just very frustrating to be in this position as Zerg, because he doesn't have the ability to get the tech to deal with medevacs efficiently, so he's just being forced to like send his units all over the place. One thing I wish Insider would do in this situation is drop in multiple locations, because you can't efficiently deal with multiple drops with this kind of army.
What about the roaches at the third, or roaches at the natural, wings at the third? The natural,
work,
yeah, the natural might be the only thing vulnerable.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
It comes down to execution between the players.
Execution. Because your mama wants the electric chair. Drones are being killed off.
Just very solid play from Xenocider right now. He's ahead, he knows it, he's just playing safe, putting on light pressure.
Really
He's
well
transferred
defended
some
third.
drones, and SCVs does so. And he's building a strong infrastructure to fall back on, getting great upgrades. This is just going to be a deadly push coming out soon.
This is that 2-2 upgrades you were talking about, bomber style.
Yep.
Could you go into a little more depth about bomber style while we're kind of just watching the drops happen?
This is more of a modified bomber style, because bomber style is meant for basic maps like Teldarim, where you can get a fast 3 base, but pushing out is very dangerous. So you just get a very huge maxed army with great upgrades, and then just this giant doom push where you usually have better upgrades than your opponent and you just crush through them. And that kind of push, it's incredibly difficult to stop with Hive Tech.
Okay. And this is modified in what way?
Well, he put on some very heavy pressure before going into this 3 base. So most standard bomber style, which is kind of old-fashioned in the metagame these days, is you don't really pressure, you just macro up, play safe, defensive.
Okay. So it's more of an adaptation to today's metagame?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool deal. Using these drops to go ahead and get a small force in position at the Zalaga Towers. And still picking off creep.
And Xenocider almost maxed out to the 160 supply of Imbusfuts, and Imbusfuts doesn't... Wait, never mind, he does have centrifugal hooks, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
He does.
Okay. And here comes that push.
Oh my. Using just the Marauders, in fact, to push forward and then pull back into the tanks. This is really wise, as the Marines are kind of vulnerable to the bayonets.
These tanks just in a great position. Like, I don't think that Imbusfut's going to take this, and here he goes trying to push in, but so many siege tanks in such good positioning.
Yeah, really nice splits as well on the bio for Xenocider. Wow, I was told this guy was good. He's real good.
GG any moment now, because huge army left over for Xenocider and nothing for Imbusfuts.
True story. Well, that was the end of that. Both players now at 1-1. And we are moving on to the last and final game. This is game 3 between these two guys. A really awesome game so far. I am so excited. Going ahead, loading it up. Now I'm at the 1 minute mark.
Almost. Alright.
Alrighty, unpausing in 3, 2, 1, go. Top left-hand side in cross positions on Antigua Shipyard, we have the pretty awesome Zerg player showing that he does not like wing speed or gas at all. LG's Imbat Asphyx. Bottom right hand side, is the Blue Terran, SCS's Xenocider. So what are your thoughts on these two games so far and the positions these guys are mentally in this final river match?
Well, it's hard to say. Imbusfoot's probably not feeling too good after getting crushed in the late game by Xenocider. But then again, Xenocider got crushed in the late game by Imbusfoot in the first game. So both these guys are probably like, well, I don't exactly know what's going on. And I don't know what Imbusfoot's thinking, because this is a terrible map for Zerg.
I see what you're saying. You don't like... Yeah, I don't like this in ZVT at all either. Specifically regarding, like, this third, it's really very droppable. And then when you try to get a fourth base, life with drops...
Forget about fourth bases, man.
Huh?
I was saying, you don't even deserve fourth base on this map. It's just like, why bother?
Yeah.
It's very painful to try and take and hold those.
So, what do you do as one of the best Zergs I know? What do you do?
Well, try and take a fourth. Besides taking a fourth base, kill your opponent probably. But get one either Broodlords or Ultralisks and just try and outright kill your opponent, because you can kind of support high tech off 3 base, but not efficiently. So you want to try and kill them with that first push.
Are Ultralisks better for that, or are you more other
Ultralisks probably better, but sometimes the Broodlords are what you really need to deliver that killing blow quickly.
Okay.
Very situational.
Gotcha. Tank count really being the playing factor?
One of the playing factors, yes. That and upgrades.
Gotcha.
And army composition. Just about everything.
Understood. Well, we got 2 wings out on the map. Mostly probably going to be for scouting. That's some high-level analysis right there. What's the reason for these 2 gas?
From the Terran?
Yeah.
He wants to get out some sort of heavy tech. 1 gas just means he wants some factory, vector, just some Hellions. But this, I'm going to assume he wants Banshees quickly. Because what's 2 gas is generally, even on 1 base, a title for Cloak Banshee, so I'm just going to assume so. But there goes another barracks, and there's another barracks, so I guess he just wants to get some heavily upgraded Marines.
Nothing wrong with heavy upgraded Marines. Interesting, again, to note the gaslessness of Imbat Asphalts. Is there any benefit to this style? Like, I mean, this is the 3rd game in a row, so...
Well, 1 gas geyser might not seem like a big deal, but it actually adds up quite a bit. Like, it can amount to a very large amount of minerals, which amounts to faster drones, better economy, and right now he's at 36 drones, 27 SCVs of his opponent. He's taking his gases, he has that 3rd base coming up, so he's just in a pretty good position overall.
Yeah, I guess not getting that gas early allows him to get that 3rd base as early as he does.
Yep.
Okay. Works for me.
Yeah, on this map, he wants that 3rd base as early as possible.
Gotcha, especially considering how hard it is to get 4th. Understood. And Hellions are poking around, trying to be really, really annoying, but only 2 of them, not really going to be that big of a deal until we get a little bit more numbers available.
Yep. This is just to put on some light pressure, get some scouting done, try and just restrain that creeps bed from really pushing out very far. He wants to constrain Imbusfuts as much as possible onto just these 3 bases.
Alright.
Because he knows that this is, if he plays well, this is all Imbusfuts should ever be allowed to get.
Fair enough. We have double upgrades now. This is looking like Roachling Infestor style. Cool deal.
Very interesting play. I mean, both players have played a very similar style all 3 games. So, Nothing out of the ordinary so far.
This is definitely true. And that's the thing. These guys are hitting their macro pretty much spot on each time, and when you have the ability to do that, you can just play the same style each and every time with small variances, and it makes a big difference in the execution of it.
Yeah. But it's this kind of play that in longer series like best of fives, maybe even best of sevens, this kind of play becomes very weak because there's no variance, so your opponent could just try and blindly hard counter exactly what you're doing.
I
That
wonder
creates
if
some
both
pretty big
players are
problems.
just so confident in what they're doing that they maybe Mbaz Futz realizes why he lost that last game, and is confident enough to say, well, it wasn't the strategy.
He's not wondering. He knows why he lost the last game because his opponent did a nice, strong timing attack that hard counters the sort of style he was going for, and it just did a lot of damage.
Gotcha.
And he wasn't prepared for it.
And this seems to be very similar right here.
Yeah, very similar, but he's a lot more prepared this time. He has a lot of units out in time, and he's just going to effectively just put on some pressure and then get out.
Okay.
He's going to take his third base behind this.
This is looking really good for the Terran. I mean, being on equal number of bases on this map, game over.
Yep, very good play. Like, I mean, strategy from both sides, but I mean, I hate saying this over and over, but it's just going to come down to the execution of these two. Like, as an insider, just trying to be as cost-effective as possible.
Drop.
These medevacs, but Mbaz Futz is prepared, and Mbaz Futz is going to counterattack as well.
This annoying little ridge right here, Overlord can get hunted down. And there's not a lot of Overlord spread for the Zerg. He's just kind of got everything bunched together here between his natural and his main. Any thoughts on that? Because it seems like drops are really the scary thing for this map.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he did have a good spread earlier, but Xenocider sent out a Viking, and that just kind of scared Mbaz Futz into pulling his overloads back and just kind of turtling up inside his own base.
So even though he's dealt with that Viking, he's still fearing another one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And here's the fourth base for mMeAlkresh Futz. Usually this is not the fourth base people want for that tank. Volley can just get right up here by the Zelnaga and be completely invulnerable. Do you see something I don't see, or is that kind of your analysis here too?
Sort of. Well, the advantage here is that it's a gold base, and gold bases, no matter what race you are, it's just nice to have that extra income.
Okay. Maybe he just doesn't expect to keep it, but keep it as long as possible. Oh, there's another Viking.
Well, it's kind of hard to call this, because right now, Xenocider's falling behind those upgrades, and upgrades are key in this matchup.
Okay.
But it looks like Xenocider's just going to be content to get on this 3 base and just chill for a while.
That works. That works. Here's the fourth base, and now finishing up for mMeAlkresh. He's got, well, that's 7 drones. Good enough. Roaches, Lings. Medevac is being forced to retreat. This game looks so similar to both the 2 earlier games. They're just so close.
Yeah, the main variance is there's a pretty high roach count. You just continue to add them all to it. Very similar to Nerchio style.
Yeah. Actually, this is interesting. 99 harvesters for the Zerg player. He will probably drop those down.
Oh, damn. I don't know if he realizes that he's made that many harvesters, because he's even on armor supply with the Zerg player, but, you know, if he trades effectively like he has been, then it's not going to matter because of the huge income for Imba.
This is very, very true. The Roach Baneling attack here, we're dealing with Xenocider's army, and even though this isn't killing below, Inbound was maxed out on Roaches, and like we've been discussing pretty much throughout this whole cast, Roaches are a pretty good thing to trade with.
Yeah. 95 Harvesters, almost 3k, 7k income for the Zerg. That's just
3K, 7K.
gigantic.
Yeah. Those are some crazy numbers, man. This is insane macro from Emba Asphytes.
Save his Marines. Yeah. Well, Xenocider working on his own 4th base, and it's kind of hard to tell where this game's going to go from here.
Again, with the 2-1 upgrades from the Terran.
Well, he also has 2-2, and
Yeah.
I sincerely hope he gets a 3-3 right away. This attack's looking pretty strong for Zimbasfuts.
Yeah, this is deadly, man. This is some incredible play. Like, I've never seen a Zerg play quite as greedy as Imba has been, and then just be so friggin' aggressive.
Yeah. Well, the earlier pressure from Xenocider that he did in Game 2, it didn't come as quite as early, so Imbusfuts was a lot more prepared, and that delayed the 3rd base of Xenocider quite a bit. So he's just slowly gotten further and further behind his opponents. Now, Xenocider is so far behind, it's almost an unwinnable position, but this is a best of 3, it's 1-1. He does not want to lose his first team.
Fair enough, man. More lanes being rallied right on into this position. Now he's pulling everything back to the Zelnaga, gonna regroup. And man, it's anybody's guess whether he's gonna attack or not.
I'm sure he's gonna wait for these 3-3 upgrades and some Ultralisks, because with that, he should feel confident enough to just crush through. Now, if you income tap, you'll notice that despite being nearly 30 Harvesters behind, that Xenocider has a much better economy as of right now.
Yeah.
Mule's pretty good, but Mule's apparently not good enough.
Yeah, here come
the
Lings.
Lings.
Ultralisks have shown up. Banelings are there. Oh god. What are the Roach upgrades? Oh, no missile attack upgrades. Interesting.
It's kind of standard though. Roaches are just kind of the little cherry on top.
Okay. Little cherry on top.
Good for busting down and finally killing a Terran.
Okay. But he seems uninterested in that. Oh, nope, Banelings. Very interested in that.
Imbusfuts knows he's basically won. He's just like, why haven't you left yet, bro? Come on. Can't waste my time.
Is that what you think that was?
Yeah. I'm almost positive. He's just like, stop wasting my time, dude.
Yeah, there's
places to be.
37
more Terrans
Harvester difference. Are you being BM on purpose?
Yeah. Well, Xenocider actually has an okay army.
Yeah, Evelyn supply counts, in
He
fact.
doesn't have a 4K bank.
This is true. Still, even supply, 30 supply difference now. Wow, it's great being a Zerg.
But all that difference is in drones. All that and more. I mean, if Xenocider gets a strong push off here, kills the Zerg army. Highly unlikely, but if it happens, then he just pushes through and kills the Zerg army again, then it'll basically be game.
That's a lot of ifs, dude. Here
But
comes
he's
the
pushing
attack.
out.
We're gonna find out right now.
Stop pushing
Ah,
out.
tanks are out of position. And wow.
This is over.
Yeah. Zerg crushing tidal wave for the win.
Huge Baneling hits. And Imbusfuts just gonna take the game.
I don't know. Actually, this Terran's still
He's gonna
trying
hold
to
off for now. 78 Lings on the way though. He doesn't have the economy to max up out again. So he decided I can't keep doing this.
He's gonna try though. Gotta give him points for tenacity, I suppose.
Yeah. Hunt to supply down almost. Doesn't matter.
When you have mules, you can do stuff like this.
Mules are pretty good, man.
This is what happens when you have 2 Zerg masters.
You have 16 harvesters on 3 patches.
Uh-oh, SCV's coming in to deal with Ultralisks. I like it.
Pole
This is a
position, very cute. Not going to be enough, though.
Oh, man. Lots of tidal wave.
This is over.
Hey, guys,
No way.
PS Wiggles has just logged online. GG,
There
well
it
played.
is.
There it is, man. What are your thoughts on this game?
Nimbusfus got a good macro advantage, and instead of trying to keep up, Xenocider decided to try and do some damage and put his opponent behind him, but it just didn't work out that way, and he was at a disadvantage for most of the game, it felt.
Fair enough, dude. Thanks for coming on. Is there anything you want to talk about before we head the broadcast off?
Man, I want to get to bed, that's what I want to do.
I feel you, dude. It is getting late. So good night, man. Good luck, and thank you for your time.
It's fun casting. I like it.
Always, dude. Take it easy.